Oh, hey, you're in a bit early. Still getting set up here. Let me get you a menu. Okay, so what I've got planned is content around mental health, personal growth, psychology, and spirituality, whatever that means. Oh, and I'll be sprinkling comedy on absolutely everything. There will be some cheesy chunks of cringe, but you'll live. Boy Under the Bridge is my platform where I document my journey to the brighter side of life. I've been working on this project since 2013, but mostly through written blogs. I haven't really done the whole YouTube thing. I mean, I've had an account and I've uploaded videos here and there, but mostly of these one-off experiences. There's the time that I lived on the small island of Tonga in the South Pacific, led a float through the streets of Sydney for the Mardi Gras parade, jumped off a bridge in New Zealand, hiked to Mount Everest base camp, and there's a time that I tried stand-up comedy. I've also made videos about personal stuff, like finding out at 30 that I have ADHD, I am so surprised, and changing careers, going from marketing to counselling. But I can't really say I've ever put any real consistent effort in to build my channel. It's like, you know when you go for a jog and your legs are moving, so you're like, I'm jogging, but you're not really jogging? So I'm here to give things a proper shot, and I've got some help from the owner of 3 million subs, a great pair of biceps, and a tweet from The Rock, Mr. Matt D. Avella. If you can't already tell, I've just enrolled in his master YouTube course. I am a Matnion, Matt plus Minion. There is a lot of free information online, but I wanted to pay for this course to, well, support a great creator, but also to hold myself accountable and also get access to a community of people also doing this thing. I'm also riding the fumes of a recent creative spurt. I went to this great workshop for creatives, but also finished reading Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. In Big Magic, Elizabeth asks the reader to consider, what are you willing to fail for? What do you enjoy so much? What do you find so much fun in process alone that the outcome doesn't really matter? I had an answer to this question, and it's writing my book, Living in Cream, a metaphorically messy guide to a sweeter life. You can read the blurb below and even download it for free. But in a nutshell, it's my personal story, how I got myself out of a pretty tough place and learned to become more accepting of who I am and embrace everything that makes me me. Having the bizarre idea to cover myself in ice cream, then go and do the photo shoot was so much fun. Writing it was also extremely therapeutic and healing for myself. And putting it out there in the world allowed me to connect with people and develop some really meaningful relationships. This is why I've continued to keep going with Boy Under the Bridge on several different platforms. But there's something calling me to YouTube. As Rumi says, we should allow ourselves to be silently drawn by the strange pull of what we really love. It will not lead us astray. I'm seeing YouTube as a platform to express myself creatively, but also to keep myself accountable to my personal growth and development. I'm also studying to be a counselor, so making videos is great practice in learning how to present myself and deliver ideas. I also think I'm funny. I'm not sure how the world will respond, but I know I'll be different for making the kind of content that I want to make. And as I think all real creatives can relate to, it's not something that I have a choice in. As my friend and fellow Australian poet Darby Hudson signed in this copy of his book for me, sometimes taking a risk isn't really taking a risk. You either do this thing or a massive part of you dies inside. And of course I have my doubts. There's so much great content out there. It's intimidating. And I'm thinking of those cringe videos that I've made before, the ones that are in private that I'm totally taking to the grave with me. Okay, I'm gonna share just one, the link's below. Watch it, tell me if I've improved. But if there is something that doing stand-up comedy and bungee jumping has taught me, it's that even if you feel physically anxious and nervous, if you just show up, that allows for something magical to take over. There's also something that Matt recently said. It's that it's better to fail spectacularly at something than to never give it a shot to begin with. Spectacular I will be. So yeah, there's so much to figure out. I don't know what's coming next, but I hope you stick around and join me on this journey and proudly watch me take my first steps. And if you're doing this YouTube thing, let me know, let's connect so we can support one another. So, you know, it doesn't feel like we're just performing to an empty room or bedroom. For now, there's some links below about things that I've spoken about, but I will see you in another video soon. Oh, and I was meant to tell you to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your neighbor's cat about me.